Hello, I'm Lumer Sunil, and welcome to this kind of bonus episode here. I'm currently developing the Tilemap editor, and I thought I should maybe show some of it. I've made this wrapper around another GUI library, so I'm going to be using a library called ImGui, or I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but it's spelled ImGui. And so it's an immediate library that, immediate GUI rendering library, where you basically say, I want a text box here, and it's going to render it immediately when you call the actual function. And you pass in different options and stuff. I've never used it before, but I've used similar libraries like Raylib GUI and I'm also familiar with web development, so I'm familiar with GUIs in general. So I hope that could help here. But I'm gonna learn along maybe with you guys here as well. And the way this wrapper works is I set up this app, and it sets up a window, and I'd initialize everything at the end. You can load in a font if you wish, and then we have two parts that basically is the entire application. The first part is this context, which is sort of like the entire app state. So you can add things, you can add anything you want in here. You can add math functions and state. And then we have this layout, which is the function that's gonna have the rendering inside it. So that's where we're gonna render all the text boxes and menus and everything. All right, and I'm using Raylib as a sort of backend, and Raylib, I think it's Raylib's own, there's a Raylib library that's called RL ImGui. And I'm not sure how to pronounce these things, but it's supposed to integrate Raylib with ImGui. So this run function actually sets up everything you need before you need to actually call this layout function. So this layout function is being run inside a loop, which is the main loop of the program, and it will be called each frame. And its purpose is to just render everything. Okay, so in here now we've known that we have Raylib begin draw. We don't have a camera, so we don't have anything like that. But and now we can just start to draw stuff here. So I'm just gonna pull up the documentation for ImGui here. Okay, so here you can see the documentation. Well, it's documentation for sort of a Raylib ImGui example project, which I'm really grateful for. Without this, I probably wouldn't have been able to do this without serious time put into actually integrating this. I'm not that good at the build system yet in SIG. It's really interesting. It's really powerful. You can do a lot of things. But I personally feel that to be able to integrate different things like this and stuff like that, you really have to. The documentation is quite lacking, in my opinion, with the build system in SIG. You basically have to look at a bunch of examples to see how you're supposed to do it. But but then you learn pieces and bits, and you learn how to do different things. So hopefully it all works out. So I believe I have this. I mean, I have set up this ZGUI, which comes from Z Game Dev sort of repository. So Z Game Dev has a bunch of different libraries, and one of those is ImGui, which is which has ImGui, I think, as its like backend and stuff. So anyway, I'll be using that to actually render stuff. It's a bit, I mean, the whole setup is a bit complex because you have Raylib, you have ImGui, you have ZGui, you have RL ImGui, and my wrapper on top of everything. So yeah, but hopefully this will go big, because what you can do is you can use anything you want now. You can use Raylib to render stuff. You can use ImGui to render stuff. I think ZGui is like convenience, also has a bunch of convenience stuff. So here, for example, you have C. That's actually, well, okay, that's RL ImGui, I guess. Yeah, it's set to, yeah, we're importing this, which is a C library. So we're importing that. Oh, we're not working with ImGui directly here. We're working with the Raylib interface, I guess. So anyway, I've basically set up everything down to this point. I've not cleared the background. So maybe that's the first thing we can do to sort of see if this works. Now, I'm not sure if I actually have Raylib here. Also, the LSP is not really working great with this setup that I have right now. So I won't be getting any sort of autocompletes and stuff like that. So I will have to rely on compiler errors, which is kind of like an old school way of doing it. And so yeah, it does bother me a little bit, but yeah, I at least I will get feedback from the compiler. So let's just create a background color here. We could actually have it as a thing like this. Okay, and the color is Raylib color. Okay, so now we have a color, so we can use that in our layout function here. And we will call clear background. And we have the background color here. So now you can actually, you have a background which you can actually change if you want to have like a theme or something like that. Let me just check here. Yeah, you can't barely see what's going on here. So, okay, I guess let's do it like this. And okay, so yeah, and yeah, that's a clear background. And let's run this and see if it works. Okay, yeah, it seems to work. Let's put a little bit more, I guess, blue in it. Yeah. Yeah, I guess that works. And one thing that I would really love to do, because I've seen this work, I'm not sure how well it works, but I've seen it work, and that's to have like hot reload, so you don't have to close down the program and relaunch it, especially if you're working on some menu that is like deep within, so you have to like check it every time. It's gonna help speed up the thing a lot, but or speed up the development a lot. But anyway, that's something to add in the future. But now we have this background. Okay, so yeah, what I'm thinking is maybe I'll draw a bit. I could draw like a layout to show kind of how I want to have it. Okay, so yeah, I want, this is the whole screen here. So I want basically one window. And this is the tilemap view. So this would have like sort of a grid going on, I guess, like this, sort of. I'm not gonna do the entire thing. And then, yeah, so it's gonna have like this sort of grid, which you can maybe like enable with a checkbox. And then you just click on, yeah, I guess you would have different kind of tools. So let's do like over here you can have like, yeah, which is the current tools, and then you have like a bunch of different, maybe like here you have like yeah, one tool and another tool, and yeah, and so you can do a bunch of stuff like that. So I'm thinking maybe I'll just start with the simplest thing here. So I'll have one sidebar here, and then the view at the rest. And then in the sidebar, I will put everything basically menu-ish that we will have right now. So you will be able to load in JSON files for the tilemap, and also save them, save the map, and then also select which tool you want to use and click here to actually use it. And then yeah, we would also need to have like let's see, this is the file stuff. So here you would have like load and save. It's not very pretty, but I'm just setting up like what we need for this, so that we can more easily just put this in here. So yeah, we had file, load, save, tools, and then tool details, I guess. Tool details. So once you've selected a tool, you have maybe a view here which shows, you know, settings for the tool. So if you just have a paint tool, then maybe you have different settings for that here. For example, which tile you want to paint with. And then we can also have current, like the tile sets. So you can load in, I guess you would need to have this to be able to like select which tile set is the current tile set or whatever. I'm not actually sure how that would work with the tool. Maybe you pick a tile set that will change the palette that you have for the tiles. Actually, because the tile sets are so large, maybe it's better to have, when you click on like select tile to draw, it will show like a larger, like a pop-up, or it will change the view entirely to select the actual thing, which you can just do with an if statement. Like if you're selecting a thing, then you can do that. But anyway, so this is tile set. I guess you can add, I guess this could be a list of strings or a list of file paths to the tile sets that you want to be able to use. And then you can add, so this would be tile set 1. I guess we could have those as just PNGs. I think that we'll just hard code the tile size for now, and any other information about the tile sets that's going to be like, because we don't have like a tile set or a tile set editor or anything like that. So this would be tile set whatever 2, and then you would have add tile set. So you can add tile sets and then possibly like delete. Okay, so yeah, I think that's basically what we want to have for the beginning of this. I'm gonna add more features to it later, but this is, if I get this working, then we will have enough to do the things that I've already done in the actual game right now. So yeah, let's model this after this. So we will have basically these two main parts. You have the sidebar, and then you have the actual tilemap view. Let me hide GIMP here. Okay. And so, yeah, let me figure out in this framework or library how you actually do layouts. I don't think this example actually shows. Oh, this is. This is ImGui. Okay, so first they draw sort of like a sort of game almost. And then they draw the ImGui. Okay, but we still want to clear the background, I guess. Okay, so let's do this now. Yeah, this one is actually a C import. Let me just check how this is done. I need to do this type of import. Okay. And then you say this, and then we defer ingredient. Okay. So let me just check if this still runs. Yes. Okay, cool. Okay, so set next window collapsed. Okay, so you can change the collapse state of the window that you're gonna do. Show demo window. Okay, so so that's a built-in thing. Show demo window. Let's actually do that to see how that looks. Show demo window. And I guess it's open is true. And this one will be, I think this one is the UI. Okay, so you can put null in there and it will actually show the thing. Oh, let me change this around here. Okay, there we go. So now you can see the window here, and yeah, this, I guess this is an example of the how you would use this. And here you have a bunch of examples. You have, so you can see this library is sort of like you can have windows, you can have buttons, and yeah, it's really nice. I want to check to see how this works. So you can like copy paste, you can do selections. Yeah, it seems like a lot of things works like like in a browser almost. So that's really nice. You can resize. It's got responsive like text wrapping. Yeah, so that's really cool. So I'm gonna use this sort of thing. Yeah, and then it has all types of different widgets and stuff. And also, yeah, this is, I'm not sure. Yeah, this is actually the demo window. I'm not sure if this is like ImGui specific, or if ZGUI is actually responsible for some of this, but for this demo window here and these different gadgets and stuff. Okay, and you can see here you have a bunch of different checkbox and stuff. So yeah, that's really cool. Okay, so let's see. Do we have anything style editor? Okay. So there's a style editor. Can we see the result or anything? Or yeah, so this is the font that I've actually loaded in. So that works. So that's good to know. And you can change the actual font here. Cool. Yeah, we can load additional fonts. Yeah, this help is really for the C library, so it's not really gonna help me a lot. Which is kind of a downside when working with this library. It's like you have to rely on the SIG, I guess, library to actually do stuff. Okay. Window, no title bar, no move. No close. Okay, so there's a bunch of different options that you can do. And here's like a configuration, I guess, for the whole thing. But we're not gonna worry about too much about that right now. So you can collapse the whole thing as well. So cool. Yeah, so that's the demo window. So we'll keep that. I guess we will. Let's see. I guess we can have it. I guess we can have it like this. Like it's not open, and then this would have context dot is demo window open. Yeah, so it starts out as not open. I can't close it either. So now we have this to just as a little helper that we can have. We could also do its demo window enabled, and we'll set it to false, and then you just have an if here. If is enabled, then we show it. Otherwise, we don't. So now it's not shown. And then now let's try to add a button that actually we can check to see. So this is how you would do it. So you have a button, you have an if statement. So let's do that. Let's have an if. And then just a button. I'm not sure where this button will be placed. I'm guessing like the top left right now. And I'll just label it as demo. And then this would set the context enable to not context. So it's a toggle button. Okay, so we get a window. So I guess everything is in like this kind of windows. You can't have stuff like out in the thing. I guess the tilemap, the viewer we could actually use Raylib to render that. That's probably how you would do that. And then ImGui is just for these windows. So I guess everything is in a window with ImGui. You can't put stuff like outside of these windows. But yeah, now we have a demo button, so we can put this here, and now we have this. So yeah, you get these windows. That's okay. So that's really cool actually, because then it's like really easy to actually add like a dialog or a pop-up that you want to do something with there. So this is an assets browser. It looks like a calendar almost. Yeah, and it has like selection, multi-select. You can drag things around. You can do a lot of stuff. Clear items, add some items, delete. Wait, oh, it's index-based. No. Did I delete a whole bunch of stuff? Yeah. So it's not... Okay, whatever. What I wanted to do was to look at window options, if we can like dock it. I'm not sure what no docking means, because it's already like free floating here. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'll have to read up on that to see how that works. Yeah, but anyway, now we have a button that we can show and hide this thing. So that's how you would do this. So it's really easy to just add a variable into the context, and then you have this button that toggles this context. So it almost feels like you're working with React actually here, which is a web development library or framework. yeah, they get mad when you call it the framework, I guess. I've heard. But anyway. So separator text. So what is separator text? Oh, okay, so it's like a chapter or section. So that's cool. Yeah, that's actually perfect because what I want to have is I want to have. Let's actually see, how do they do this with the window? Begin, demo, end. Okay, so begin might actually be sort of a window. So let's have this here. So I guess we'll have begin, and then this would be, I don't know, toolbar. Not really toolbar. I guess menu. I'm not sure what to call it. And then we'll defer end. And then in here we can actually put this. And what you also can do is you can say, I want another function that's actually sort of this component. So this would be the main menu. Okay, and then we'll grab the context as well. Okay, and so yeah, so this would be inside of this. So then we can just call main menu on the context. Now we should actually get, and begin here actually takes 2 arguments, and main menu is a try. Okay, there we go. So here we have our menu, which works like the other window that we had before. And I see that you can actually set the window position and size by doing this. So we can say set next window position. So this is going to be 0, 0. And then next window size. This is going to be, yeah, I'm not sure actually what it will be, but let's just do, I don't know, 400. And then this would be the entire stretch of the thing. Yeah. And I think maybe that's a little bit too wide. There we go. So that's sort of like the sidebar. And then, yeah, I want to make it not resizable. I guess maybe you can do that in here. So it's that one. So it's source and then ImGui.sig. Right, so here's the here's that. And let's check if we have begin. Should have it. Okay. So you can have p open and flags. And I guess p open is like, so what is flags? Here. Right, so this is what you can do with it. Just double checking if you can see this. Yes. Okay, so we can disable the title bar. Oh, that's actually kind of good. Let's disable that. And then no resize is gonna be true as well. No move is true. Oh, I forgot my dots. Okay. No collapse. True. Still dots. Okay. Let's run this and see how it looks. And then these needs to be, I guess, I think in a thing called flags. There we go. Okay. So it's basically a sort of a window here, but it's yeah, it looks more like just a part of the UI, I guess, right now. So you can't move it, you can't resize it, you cannot collapse it. It has no title bar. So great. Yeah. So that's good. So we have that window, and then we have the main menu. Maybe this should actually be put inside the main menu instead. Oops. Yeah, let's just put this in here. So we'll make the main function a little bit more cleaner. There. And we don't need a block here. That's also a really nice thing about Sig, where you can create these blocks. And I think you can do that in some other program languages as well. But I've not really used that kind of a lot. It's really nice when working with defers, because when you put a defer in this block, it will actually do the thing. It will do the defer at the end of the current block. So this will create like a new scope. And you can also have, like, if you want to have variables with the same name in the same function, but you don't really have a way of separating them, you can do it with these blocks as well. So if you have like several parts, or you can put them in separate functions, I guess also. But yeah, it's a convenient way of actually doing stuff like that. Okay. So yeah, let's see. So what do we want in this? Now we want to have a file. So let's have a file and then section, and we have tools, and then we have tool details, but this will only if we have a selected tool, and we have tile sets, and I think that is what we have. Okay, and let's see. Yeah, so we have all those. Let's add a sort of kind of some sort of tool. So current tool, I guess this would be a pointer to a tool, maybe. And then we'll have a list of tools, which, so this one is, yeah, I guess a list of tools. And I think, yeah, I want to have tool is a struct, and then we could have a name, for example. So let's just have that for now. And then tools is a list of these tools. Now, I wonder how I want to do that. So I think we can just do this. And then we'll have an init function, name, and we return that. Whoops. No, name is equal to name. Okay, and then up here we'll do tool.init, and we'll just have something like a brush or whatever. So that would, so now we have this tool, and I think it would be cool if we can just add like icons, and then what we actually show in the UI is going to be like a button that's, Actually, what we could do right now, we could say, I'll have a function called tools, and we'll grab the context. So we'll make basically a new like UI component here. And I just want to go through each tool and make a button, which we want to check also for if it's clicked. And then this button is just going to have tool name as its label. And then if it's clicked, we're just going to set current tool to be the tool here. So let's grab the pointer version of that. Okay, and that's the tools. And then we can just say, we can just call this here. Right. So now we should have a button there. Okay, now this name is of type just slice to constant U8s, but everything in C works with zero terminated, well, almost everything works with zero terminated strings. That's a C string. So we have to do a pointer cast enable to use this name, or we could just define this as like this and then this. Okay, so we could have everything as zero terminated, so we don't have to do a pointer cast. Okay, yeah, so I had a little bit of issues with actually defining these tools. So this tool, this tools is actually a now pointer to this array, which is stored just up here. And yeah, it looks a bit weird, but I guess that will work. Okay, so I'm getting a couple of different errors here, so I'm gonna fix that and be right back. All right, and we're missing current tool. So I guess current tool can also be nothing, maybe. So I'll just put a nullable there and initialize it to be null. And then down at this part, the tool details, I think I will just hide that if the context, if current tool is null, or if it's not null. Then I will show that. Okay. All right. So yeah, there we go. Okay. So now we know that we don't have a tool selected. So now we get this tool here that we can click on, and you can see the tool detail shows up here. Okay. So you can now we can just add a bunch of different tools. So you can add like I don't know, bucket tool, and it will show up as a button there. Yeah. Oh, I actually wanted them to be like inline. I wonder how you do that. I guess I'll check the documentation. So those are window flags. So maybe that's a thing with in the button, maybe button flags. Mouse button left, right, middle. No. I wonder. Child flags, maybe. No. Yeah, I'll just search around a bit and see, and I'll get back. Okay, so I found the same line function after Googling a bit. So this is supposed to put stuff on the same line, I guess. Let's try it. So I think I want to do same line here. Same line, and then you have arguments, offset from start, spacing. Let's just keep it all default and see how that looks. And there you go. Here's the same line. Okay, so we don't want to be same line at the last one though. We just want it to be like in between the buttons, I guess. And I guess I also want it to be wrapped if it's not, it's like larger than its parent as well. So I mean, I guess to actually let's add an index, and I would say if index is 0, then we don't. Well, if it's more than 0, then we do the same line. Then we delete that. Yeah, now it's same line, but will it wrap if I add more? No. Can I even scroll here? I don't think so, no. Okay, so that's an issue. Maybe I won't put it at the same line. Because what I'm thinking is my target design for this would be to just have icons instead and not have labels. So those icons will be all the same size. So you would have like a grid of tools that you can click to choose from instead of having these kind of buttons. But it's interesting to see how you can actually put stuff in different layouts in this, because I want to learn that. But anyway, now we just want the brush for now. Okay, so let's see here. So how to proceed now? Yeah, so I'm back. That took a while. I was sent down a tiny rabbit hole here with linking C stuff, and I encountered some issues with multiple like duplicate object files being generated when building. And in the end, I rewrote some stuff in the build system and got it working again. So now we can import this tinyfiledialogs.h. And so let's see. So I think we'll add like a button for file to have like an open. So let's see if that actually works. So let's go down to our file place here. And I guess we'll just do file menu here. We can, let's do tools, tool picker menu maybe. And this is file menu. Okay. Let's make this function. File menu component, sort of. Okay, so let's make a button, which is gonna be open. And if we click it, then I guess we will just call tinydialog something. So I'm gonna check, whoa, do we actually get completion now? Is this because I changed the stuff in, whoa, hey. Okay, so yeah, there was something wrong with my build system, and but now it seems to have fixed also the import. Yeah, so the whole problem, I was blaming like the LSP, but the whole problem was the build system. Well, it kind of worked before, and the LSP got it mixed up, I guess. but now it seems to be correctly generated and everything. So, okay, cool. Now, yeah, so we get the button and we get everything here. Okay, awesome. So, yeah, so I think maybe, yeah, here you see tinyfd. So tinyfd is the library that I'm using here. And apparently it's the same library that's used by DVUI. I just asked in Discord and I got an answer that, well, my question was, how do you open like the native Windows file dialog opener? And then there was this library DVUI, which I'm using in this UI. Well, it's one of the backends that I've been using, and it apparently has tinyfd integration, which is a C library that you can use to call these, which is like, I guess it's cross-platform, but I'm not really sure how well it works. But I mean, let's test it. So this should be open file dialog, I guess. And how will it work? So we have a title, and we have, I'm not sure, what is this? Star C? Is that like a C string? It's not, it's just, I think it's, yeah, I need to look this up. Sig star C string. Okay, that's a C string. So I think a C string is just like a sentinel, 0 sentinel string, basically. Yeah. Okay, so C and this is basically the same. I'm guessing then. Yeah. So it's even, you don't even need to cast it. Okay. So it's basically a 0 terminated string with unknown size, right? And let's see, what do we get from this? We get a string again back. So that is that the resulting path, I guess, maybe. Result. And maybe I should write like a tiny wrapper around this. Maybe there already is a wrapper around this. Sig tinyfd. Sig tiny file dialogs. Oh, here we go. NFD. Maybe I should have searched for this first. So we got NFD sig is a sig binding to the library native file dialog, which, okay, so we got this also. And this is only for open and save dialogs, which is what I'm interested in. Tiny file dialogs has a bunch of other stuff as well. So maybe I'll actually just use this instead. Let's see, but this doesn't have, okay, so it's for sig 0.13. Hope, yeah. So it should work by just importing it. Yeah, this is like the old way of doing it, so you don't need to do this anymore, but then you just add this, yeah, like normal, and then you can basically have this. So I think I'm actually gonna scrap this tiny file dialog and use that instead, which I should have done from the start. I should have just grabbed this from the start, but oh well. I'll do that. Let's see. So you need to go to, I can show you how you do it actually. So you go into here, you make sure that it's for the correct SIG version that you're using. And from what I can see from these logs here, it seems to be working. Otherwise it will fail at the building. But once you know that, you can basically go to the current commit by clicking here. And then you get here, you go to browse files. Well, this is going to look a bit different if you have a larger screen. But you go to browse files, and then you go to download zip. You copy this address. Then you go to sig. You go to the terminal and you use sig fetch save. And in this case, if we don't have if the repository does not have a build.sig.zone file, we actually need to say save. We need to specify the name of the module or the name of the dependency. So this would be nfd dot or dash sig, and then we paste in the link for the zip file, and it's gonna fetch it for us. And now we can go to our zone file, and I will actually delete this. Well, actually, let's keep it around for now, and we'll try them maybe both and see. I mean, I think NFT is probably a lot easier to work with. So let's add that. Let's add NFD now. So what you do is you have NFD. First you add the dependency. So you add basically every SIG package has like specialized instructions for importing a dependency, but usually it's gonna look like this. But you need to always look into the documentation when you're actually importing this. So, and then you have the module, which you do like this. And then you have to go into build.sig and check what the module is named. It's named NFD. So then we put that there. So now we have the module, and now we can just add that as an import to our executable module. And we can name it whatever we want, but let's use NFD there and pass in the module. So now this is all you need to do to get this package. Well, all you need to do. It's a little bit of a setup, but this is what you need to do in order to get this set up correctly. Hopefully in the future, SIG will have a more easier way of putting these things together, because I feel like there should be, like, this is sort of the de facto standard to get it something working. And I feel like if all libraries strive to only have to do this to get it to work, then that could be like the standard way of doing things, and we don't really need to deal with build.sig like we do today. And we can just add a package and it would auto-generate this code for us. But as it is today, many libraries have like specific ways you can set it up, which is nice as well, because you can do like different options depending on what you want. Okay, so there's an issue here. So yeah. Let's do this for now. And now we can actually, so now when we got that, we can actually just import this like this. And there we go. Now we have access to that. And I guess we can just use this now. And it's a little bit easier to work with, as you can see. There's still zeros terminate the strings here, but at least it's SIG native. So filter. I guess filter could be maybe, let's see the documentation here. Well, it doesn't really say. But I guess, well, let's try. Let's try to have, whoops, because I only want to enable JSON. So let's do like this maybe. And the default path, I guess the current working directory. So let's do that. And how do I get like the, no. How do I get the actual, what is this type? Okay, it's a handle. So I want the path for this. Can I stat. So this gets me real path, make path. I don't want to make a directory. Real path. What does that mean? Real path. This function returns absolute path name relative to this directory. If path name is absolute, ignores this directory. Okay. I wonder if you always have to use, if you always have to use absolute paths for this, or if you can just use like this. I mean, we could try it. And then we get an error or a nullable file path. Okay. So let's just get the result here, and I guess we'll try it. Okay, and then let's just log this out. There. And let's not worry about the context for now. Okay. Let's try that. There can be a number of things going wrong right now, but let's see. It takes a bit of time now that we have to clone down the library here. Or, yeah, I need to source my thing. Okay, there we go. So we open. Oh, it crashed. Okay, so I got like an NFD error for some reason. Let's check if we can see what's going on. Make error. NFD error. Maybe this was the thing. Make error debug. Okay, so we actually maybe. Okay, so error creating shell item. Maybe I need to import something else. Okay, so this is the place where we get the error. And what is the result? Create item from parsing name. SH. So I guess we need shell as well. Shell 32. I'm not sure if we need to actually do that ourselves though, but we'll try and get this as well. I'm sure you're linking comctl32. Okay. Okay, let's try that. I'm gonna try without that as well and see. So I'm gonna remove shell maybe. Oh, okay. So I didn't realize maybe there's something wrong with. So I guess we don't really need these two. Let's try without those. Also, I think, yeah, let's try without anything, actually. Actually, now this is not going to work because I am importing tinyfiledialogs as well. So let's actually delete this and then go to main, and we will grab that. Okay. Let's run it and see if it runs now. We might not need to link anything actually. Yeah. And yeah, so let's check here. So maybe, I mean, I'll try this, but I don't think it will work. And also, I think, yeah, it needs to be backslash. Yeah, that does work. So let's see if we can get the current. I mean, Sig gets see. Okay, OS. Huh. That's should already have it, I guess. Yeah, Sig recommends against getting the absolute path and considering what? Real path. Okay. Yeah, I guess we'll just use alloc here. So let's add an allocator to context. Okay. And let's do context allocator. Path name is gonna be just, current path. And then this will be that. Oh yeah, and this needs to be wait. No? Okay. I guess we can do this as well. We don't need to allocate it. We just grab it. We don't need to duplicate. We don't need to, yeah, and then we can do set. And then this. Which returns, oh, this returns the actual thing, okay. So now this is the string, okay. Path name is gonna be that. All right, now we should have it. How much is this actually? Windows path max wide, which is what, 32? Oh shit. I mean, I guess if the standard library can allocate this like this, it should be fine. Okay, so yeah, now we get our current working directory here. So let's see if that actually works. Oh, right. Wait. Do you need to do that? No. Wait, this is supposed to return a sentinel. Oh, the path name is sentinel. So can I just do a pointer cast? Wait. Okay, this is becoming a bit weird. I'm just gonna do this +1, and this is 0 sentinel, and then buff. Actually, could I just do format print buff print set? Here's the buffer. Actually, let's do alloc. Format alloc print set. We have context.allocator. Format, I guess, just a string. And then this would be real path set. No, just real path. Yeah. Path name. Okay, I guess we need the buffer. But then the okay, yeah, so we do need a buffer, I guess. So let's just do that. But we don't need that to be 0 terminated. Okay. So now this will be now this is what? Why does it say the wrong thing? Oh well, this returns a 0 terminated string. This type apparently is not 0 terminated, but I think it is. Okay, now we need to populate this allocator. So let's grab an allocator from outside. I wonder if we have an allocator on app. Wait, why do I not get anything from this now? Oh, because this is weird. Hmm. Maybe I should not do this. Maybe I should just have import ImGui instead of that. Like this. But that doesn't work, I guess. Hmm. Okay, so these ones don't get registered. But this does. But this is like depends on stuff. Okay. Well, anyway, I believe we should have an allocator on this, so I'll just pass that in. Okay, something else happened here. Okay, we get segmentation fault with the allocator. Oh, I think it's because the allocator doesn't actually exist until we do run here, I believe. Yeah. Okay, let's just make our own allocator here. And we'll pass that in there. All right. So let's try that. Okay, there we go. It actually works. I'm not sure if you can see. No, you can't see this window here, but trust me, it works. Okay, awesome. So now we can actually use a native file dialog to open and get some JSON files. And I can see here in the filter, well, you can't see it, but the filter is kind of weird. I think we need to just remove the star dot here. And now it should work, yeah. Okay, awesome. Great, so we got that working. Yeah, let's remove this tinyfiledialog thing because we don't need it. And let's go. So, yeah. Let's remove all this. Okay, that's nice. And now we can go to our JSON and we can remove tinyfiledialog. It's probably a pretty good library, but yeah, this native thing just worked out of the box. So we need a structure for the actual data of the file. And then we need to be able to serialize it and deserialize it to JSON. And then we can actually open and save files. I think also what we need is to be able to create a new a new file from scratch and then save it. So I think that's what you have from the start. You have like you open the thing, you have like a new document open, and you can save it. So we need some sort of that data to be able to save. So I guess this would be the file data maybe. And we also need this. I think I should probably start to put this into different files. Is there a way to extract this now? Let's just do this. So we have the context. Yeah, we need the tool. Tool. Yeah, we need this. I mean, the context, it's just going to be one context, so it doesn't matter if tools is like global. Okay, yeah, and then the file data. which is a struct. Okay. Now we need to import. Well, yeah, we do need to import the context here. And I'm just gonna also put the layout function in its own. I guess we can put everything in there for now, and we can refactor it maybe later. Context, we need relive. We need this, and we need this. Okay. Now it's not public. We need standard. And we need NFT. There we go. Context, yes. This one we don't need view. Okay, there we go. So, yeah. So let's go to file data and we can define some stuff. So we need a size. So this is basically what the tilemap is in the actual game. So I'm just gonna go out to our game and go to tilemap. So basically we're gonna need to get this here, this tilemap here. This is the data that we are working with currently. And vector is just so yeah, let's just make this here because I can't be bothered to actually import this. So this is just a vector f32. It doesn't actually need to be f32. I think it's better if it's like I32 or even actually U32. And length of 2. Oops. Okay. And then the array list. Well, let's just import std and array list. Oh, there. Okay. And then we also have the tile. And the tile looks like this. Okay. It's not undeclared now. Doesn't need to be like this. Okay, and we also need relive. There we go. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can do this. Yeah, there's something weird going on with. Okay, there we go. Also, why does this not work? There we go. Takes a little while. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now we got the file data. We got the time, which file data is actually just like the tilemap. So I think what we do is we just have a tilemap instead. That's a better name for it. and this will basically mimic the type that we have in the game. So there, yeah. And it's nice if we have this function as well. Let's grab this. I think, yeah, we're gonna need this. And I'm gonna check then what. So this is actually the X component of size. Let's just make a convenience function for that. Let's actually do vector int, which is this, so that we don't need to worry about having the wrong thing. Okay, so this would be vector int. Okay, oops. And we'll just return self, yeah. Size 0. And then the height 1. Okay. So this would be the width. Okay, so now we have like a basic data structure. And the only issue with this, though, is that this array list is actually not that great when working with JSON, in my experience. It doesn't really work. So I actually made a wrapper around that, but I don't think we need to use a wrapper per se. I think that just when we serialize or deserialize the tile map, we actually need to have a separate function for that. So yeah, and how you do that is you define a function called JSON stringify. And this one is a tilemap. And then we get, I think we get the writer here. JWriter. So it's a special kind of writer that writes JSON files. And then I believe it's just an error like this. Okay. Then, stringify. And we also need a JSON parse function, but let's start here. So the way you do this is you say, first we need, so we're gonna define this as, yeah, this is the tile map. So we're gonna define this as just begin object and then end object. I think that's how you do it. And then you don't get any LSP from this because it's an any type, but this is a JSON writer. And if you want to look up the type, you can go to standard JSON and then stringify and then write. Yeah. No, the write. Yeah, write stream. Yeah, here. This is the write stream. Yeah, this is the string. Yeah, the JSON write stream object. So this one has a bunch of functions. For example, begin object here. So you have begin object, you can begin an array. Begin object, so you basically have an object value. And then you have end object as well. So you do begin object And when you're in the object, you can actually just say, well, you want to do these fields now. Object field start. And wait, no, not object field start. Object field. So just object field. And then the key is going to be size. Okay. And now we can just write the value, which we can do with just write. I think we need to do try on everything here as well. Oops. Try. Come on. There. Okay. Now we do write, and it's going to be self.size. Okay. Oops. And that's the size. And then we're going to do, actually, we could just do this. We could inline for fields of cell, or I guess it's Tilemap because it's a type. Yeah. And then we get the field, and then we say if field, if field of name is equal to tiles, then we basically have a special case for tiles. Otherwise, we basically just want to do this. And this would be the field name. And this would be accessing the field on cell with field name. Okay, so now we don't have to loop through. If we're going to add more fields, we don't have to add it to this function. But we just, unless we want to add more array lists. But yeah, and then this will actually just do, so we have tiles. So what we want to do here is we want to have an array. Well, we want an object field first. And we can just use the main. And then we do begin array. And end array. And then we just do for field, so field main, just to make it a little bit agnostic here. We will get, and then items. So then we'll get the item, and we can do write, try write the item. Okay. And then if this would have the, yeah, this also needs a thing here because the tile set is actually, I think this would just be a path to the tile set itself. Or maybe a key. Yeah, I'm not sure how to structure it right now. What was the best way? But I'm just gonna do a string. If maybe even if, let's say we have a tile set. Let's actually, you know what? Maybe the tile set is supposed to just be a string. That's a key into a tile set container. Yeah. So let's make this a string instead. Because now this is fully serializable. And let's see. Yeah. So that should be it for stringifying. We also need to parse as well. And we will spit out a tilemap. And the parse function so the parse function takes an allocator, a source, which I guess is n-type, yeah, and options, which is JSON parse options. Okay. And yeah. Okay. Why is it not? There we go. Okay. So the parse function is a little bit more complicated, I would say, because you're trying to turn, because before we just turned this object into a string, into a JSON, and since we have these nice helpers, it was really easy. But now we need to turn a string into our object, which is a bit more tricky because yeah, and it's also it's very tricky because this source thing is like you don't really know what it is. So let's go back to JSON here and see parse. And we go here and we have this guy, and now, yeah. So this source is like, what is this? So this, scanner or reader. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So another a thing that you can do here is you can actually, you don't need to begin an array and end an array and do this loop. What you can do is you can say, yeah, just write the slice inside like this. So this would be field self and field dot name and then dot items. So this is the equivalent basically of that. So now, yeah, so you just write, because the JSON standard JSON library does not handle array lists, but it does handle the slice, that's the internal slice of it. But the problem here is that if you have, well, first of all, if you have an object, you want to stringify the entire object that has array list in it, then you have to have a parse or a special case for this field. Okay, so here I have an example. So I made this before. This is a JSON array list, and it's basically a wrapper around an array list. And yeah, so what it does is it actually is, yeah, it stringifies. It has the stringify function and it has a parse function as well. Actually, this was really easy. Copy from. copy from. Oh, just inner parse like that. Oh. Okay, never mind. It's actually it's actually kind of easy to parse. So all we need to do is we grab the item, because in the string we're dealing with an, well, actually this is just for the array. So this is now an object and not an array. Well, I guess. You know what? I'll probably just copy this over and use this. Yeah. Okay, you know what? I have made a JSON array list before that I have used to actually wrap array lists and make them JSON serializable and deserializable. So I am just going to use that instead of doing this. So this one is actually now a JSON array list. And we don't actually need stringify and parse anymore here. So we can remove that. So now this should be fully serializable with JSON. And you just need to use the standard thing to do it. And we can actually do it here. So we can have serialize and we get a, well, let's serialize. Let's grab a writer. And then this would just be writer print. And then this would be format value is self. And the option is nothing. And that's it. That's all you need to do to serialize. And then deserialize, you will get file data out. I guess this is a try as well. And then deserialize, what we get in is maybe a reader, maybe. And we'll do JSON reader or parse from source. Yeah. Wait, token source. Parse. Yeah, I guess it's a token source, maybe. And this would be our type here, file data. And we need an allocator. And this is the reader. And then we have options as well. Okay. And then this would be return. So actually, when this is the thing with deserializing JSON, is that you get this parsed thing. Yeah. And then this is the actual thing that you can then, well, what you could do is you can say return parsed value. Wait, how? Okay, so I think what you need to do is you need to do value is going to be allocator, and then we're not duplicating, but we want to copy this entire thing. So I'm wondering if there's a way to do a dupe, except you don't do an array. You just do one item. Wait. Couldn't we just do... No, we want to allocate. And then I guess we just do this. Value equals parsed value. So that basically copies everything over. But yeah, I don't think that works. I mean, I want to move this as well. I don't think it will move this. I think when you do this, when you de-initialize this, it's going to de-initialize the array list as well, because it's part of the arena thing. One way to do it is just to, well, we create, yeah, we can do this. We can do file data is equal to file data. Yeah, we just do this. I think what we do is we do parse the value, and then we return that, and then we say tilemap dot tiles equal to copy from, and then the source. Yeah. Okay, hopefully that works. I'm not sure what's going on, what's gonna happen to this tile set here. This string here. Like, yeah, because I think this is just gonna disappear. The best way, if we could just use the parsed as, so actually let's do this. Maybe actually, you know what? Let's actually just return parsed here. And then the parent, then the user will have to decide what to do with this. So yeah, let's just return this. Yeah. All right. Now in here, this you can have an init function. Actually, let's put size in here as well. Tile size. We'll start with those. And tiles is going to be this. Okay. Really have the initialize function for that. There. Okay. Yeah. Allocator. Oh, we don't need the allocator, I guess. You don't have one. No. Okay. Yeah, so now we should be able. Let's just add an input here. Okay. And yeah, pass this on here as well. File size. This is the size. File size. Okay. Then in our context, our data. Yeah. And then here we can decide what the size will be. So here the size will be, I guess, it could just be anything really. And it should be modifiable from the interface. So let's say it's like, I don't know, how many tiles do I have? I have like, well, in my map, I had like 35 by 17, I think. And then the tile size is 16 by 16. Okay. And yeah, let's also add a scale for the graphics, which I think is 4. Okay,